You are now tuning in to Kickspot with Jinu Park and Migs.
Yo, what's going on, Kickspotters? We are back.
Welcome.
And we're excited. We're excited today because we actually skipped a week. We skipped a week, and it was a very big blessing because we're getting people to reach out to us saying, hey,
What happened?
what happened? So we know that you guys are listening, so we appreciate the love. And as you can see today, we have a special guest with us, Migs.
Yes, we do.
He goes by the name DJ Rodchrolon in
Hey.
the building.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh yeah. What up, everybody? Hello, world.
What's his government name?
Christopher Rodriguez, for the record here. Christopher Rodriguez.
Christopher Rodriguez, aka DJ Rodchrolon. We appreciate you being on the show today.
Deserved.
I'm gonna lower the music a little bit here so we can hear you. And
Putting me in vibes right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
But we want the Kickspotters to get to know you on another level.
Yep.
Word up.
So Rodriguez, what's a background on Rodriguez?
My family, we're from Mexico, Mexico and Texas.
Okay.
We're Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex.
Relocated to California in the '60s.
Okay.
So we're California natives. I was born in Long Beach.
Okay.
Yeah. And then born and raised in Norwalk, Lakewood,
Norwalk.
562 area.
The 562 represent.
SoCal till I die.
The Norweezy.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of being Mexican, every time we have a guest on the show, we do like to test them on their trivia based off
damn.
their heritage.
Well, actually, I'm actually.
No, you can't.
You can't say that.
I can't do the 23andMe right now. All right, okay. We'll hold it to the Mexican.
All right, so
Proud.
Mix has prepared a few questions for you. Just 5 questions.
Yeah, just to see your knowledge base on Mexico.
Nah, bro.
All right, Chris. So
This wasn't in the sample questions, my guy.
that's why we didn't send you the pamphlets.
Yeah.
Of what-
Okay, I get it.
So, but all right, are you ready for this, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, so 5 questions, trivia time.
Sorry, Mexico. Viva Mexico. Lo
So,
siento.
so first question. What is, like, so you don't see my phone. What is the dominant religion in Mexico?
Well, I would say Catholicism.
Roman Catholic is the right answer.
Hey, 1 for 1.
One for the raza.
1 for 1. Uno de uno.
Número 2. Pregunta 2. Or was that as, oh,
Yeah,
dang, yo, my Telemundo on fire. All right. What bird? What bird? You always like this guy. What bird is on the Mexico flag?
Oh, isn't that like an eagle eating a snake? That's
He
two.
even
Got it right.
He even went further and said it was eating a snake.
Two for the raza.
Is it really? Is he eating a
Yeah,
snake?
or it's like
Oh,
attacking it. Yeah, he has it in his claw.
That's dope.
All right. It's question number 3.
That's savage.
All right. There is a saying in Mexico, an expression of their famous hospitality, like, you know, when you, like if you're being hospitable, what is that phrase? I mean, it's like the most famous
Yeah,
one.
it is, man. Even I know this.
I don't
one.
even know, bro. Like, I'm drawing a big blank here.
Come on, it's an
Come on.
easy phrase.
It's
I'm
easy.
sorry. Bienvenidos.
I mean, I'll get a good guess.
Can you repeat the question?
Question is, there is a saying in Mexico for hospitability.
Let's just say it's a home.
An expression.
Oh, yeah. Mi casa es su casa.
Okay.
Okay.
3 for 3.
3 for 3.
Yeah, he won't get the next 2. I'll say that. I'll
Okay,
say
we'll
that.
see.
All right. 4th question. How many states does Mexico have?
Oh, wow. Geez, I'm going to just throw a guess out
It's
there.
not 50.
Can I use Google right here? I'm going to say like 9.
No, no es bueno.
No, it's not. Oh, mal.
31.
31.
31.
I had
Estados.
no idea.
Oh, man. How do I know that?
I had no idea.
I had the answers. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
All right. Last question, Chris.
So 3 out of 4. You got
All right.
You got to I mean, you're
Gotta be
basically
at
passing.
80%, all right?
You're basically passing, but
All
Still
right.
pass the class.
This is the hardest question. What is the highest mountain in Mexico called?
Montezuma? Nah.
All right, we get one more guess.
Nah, that's probably what I'm gonna go with. Like,
he's like, that's the only mountain I know.
A mountain in Mexico? Man,
What is the highest mountain?
I don't hear folks talking about mountains in Mexico much.
Oh.
So I'm gonna just stick with Montezuma. And
Montezuma?
Yeah, I don't even know if
It's
that's
not
a mountain.
the right answer.
Is that even a mountain?
It's Orizaba.
Okay.
All of a sudden, the Mexican
All of a
history.
sudden, he starts
Yeah.
understanding.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was a last name. You know, I didn't know. I thought it was a mountain. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's awesome. 3 out of 5, not bad.
All right, I could do that. I'm down with that.
Well, Chris Rodchrolon, we're gonna continue the music as we start asking you some more questions just to get to know you a little bit more.
Introduce what's happening right now, JP. Like what's like what is the premise of our show today?
Yeah, I mean, what I want to do is I want to let everybody know more about the DJ lifestyle and what that entails, especially like if you think about it, the DJ industry has been tarnished by COVID. I mean,
Boom, and then COVID hit.
Yeah, sudden, all of a sudden. I mean, you started seeing all these DJs at festivals and all that, and then all of a sudden, COVID hits and
Nothing.
And then we don't know what's going on with that industry right now. And then also what Chris or Rodchrolon does is he also has a clothing line that he's been promoting, Eliminate Race, which is right here on the show. So, and he's got different versions of these shirts, which is pretty awesome. So. As we get to interview him, get to know him, want to talk a little bit more about, that and then, some of his future passions that he wants to get into. But first of all, Rodchrolon, what got you into DJing?
Man, what got me into DJing was just seeing DJs perform and seeing how they were able to control a crowd. Just witnessing. I can't pinpoint, or I don't even want to pinpoint anyone in particular. There's a lot of like influences I had, but just growing up listening to hip hop, my uncle used to DJ. So, as a young kid, I would see him going and making tapes in the garage, and I was around it, but I grew up an athlete. So it was just something that was around, but I had an interest in music. And then when I got into like sophomore year, junior year, I went up to the varsity squad as like a freshman, sophomore. So I was hanging around a bunch of older guys. And,
what did you play?
Yeah, what sport?
Baseball and football.
Baseball.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I was a big jock.
Okay.
And and playing with and going out with those guys, I started going out and partying with them, and they took me to some hip hop shows. Matter of fact, like we went to go see Wu-Tang, we went to go see Gangstar, just like crazy stuff. Like I could go on for days about that, but
my influences.
That's where I was like, you know what, I want to try being a DJ, and then it actually happened when my senior year. So that was like sophomore year. I used to go to shows, and like then the homies would DJ around campus, house parties in high school. We were DJing at house parties. So that was always just something that I thought that was like really cool. And to go along with like the sports, like I always tied it in where like scoring a touchdown or hitting a home run was like making a good mix, because you get a cheer. I've scored a touchdown before. I know what it feels like to have people cheer for you. And doing a good mix in the club and like someone going, woo, it's the same feeling for me. It's the same feeling. So I was like, you know what? I made a transition, after graduating from high school. I kind of jumping ahead here, but I transitioned and kind of like just gave up sport, hung up the cleats. I was like, I'm gonna do music now. I want to do music. I could get that same, like,
you got the itch
reward, through music. So like with that mentality, when it came to senior year, everybody was buying the class rings and they were buying Letterman jackets and going to Cancun, thousands of dollars and stuff like that. And so I told my mom, I don't want none of that. I want turntables. Like I don't need a class ring. I don't need a Letterman jacket. Just give me some turntables. And she bought me turntables. We went to Guitar Center. She got me some Technics 1210s, and I had no mixer. So I had like turntables and no mixer. And an old buddy of mine, I think, I'm pretty sure it was my buddy Jeremy Hernandez. Shout out Jeremy. He's a firefighter now, by the way.
Okay.
He gave me a mixer, and I plugged it all in, figured it out. I called my buddy. I was like, yo, man, I have all this equipment. Now I can't get sound. I was like that, like naive to it. Yeah. He's like, bro, you got to plug it into a stereo now. Like I was like, start from scratch. Yeah. So that's where I got into DJing, and then just the whole sports thing and bringing that back into the story. That's where like I started transferring my energy into DJing, because I put my heart and soul into sports and I didn't get nothing out of it. you know, other than just the experience and, you know, pushing yourself, testing your limits, your physical limits, your mental limits, and all that. That's what I got out of it. But like monetarily, and when I hit the college level, it was just really competitive. And I started witnessing, you know, coaches playing favorites, and I was busted, and I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. And aside from that, like it was like back injuries, all kinds of shit, you know.
Yeah.
So can we cuss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, a little bit. You know, and stuff. So like, you know, I made the transition into DJing, and here I am 20 years later, still doing it. You know, there was a point where my mom had said like, I regret buying you turntables.
Really?
You know, because I was like, you know, just like in between jobs, and you know, just always had like jobs were my fallback. Yeah. Like DJ was like my passion. I was like, I have skills. Like if I need to get a job, I'll go get a job. But it was always like, I want to DJ. And then I eventually started making money off of it. You know what I mean? And I was able to pay rent for a long time.
Yeah.
Like around 2008 and stuff. Like I was paying rent. I was doing like three gigs a weekend, sometimes 2 gigs a day. I was like contracting my brother out, and then we had that market crash in 2008, and I had to like, you know, pivot, reset my pricing and everything for people. You know, where we were pre 2008, you know, you're getting like anywhere from like 500, 1200 was what I was like charging people, but there was guys charging like way more. But I was just being fair for what I could provide. Yeah. And it went down like after 2008, nobody wanted to pay more than like 150, and I had to like rebuild that price like bracket back up. But I never stopped grinding. It's a true passion that I have. So, you know, people always ask me all the time, "Are you still DJing?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." Like, don't ever ask me if I'm still DJing. I'm always gonna be a DJ for sure. For sure.
Now, talking to some of my DJ friends, looking at the digital setup, they always like the old school people always make fun of the digital setup. They're always all about the classics, the classical DJ equipment. They say this is kind of weak compared to like
weak.
Right. Yeah, because you show more skills. It's a lot harder from the old school turntables compared to the new stuff. They say like anybody can be a DJ with the new school stuff. Like you can't really tell sometimes. But did your mom get you like one of those old school ones, or did you invest into one of those old school ones? Or?
No, I went right into like professional level decks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, you know, a lot of guys they couldn't afford it, so they got like, you know, Goodwill turntables. But I went with the recommendation from like other DJs, and they were like, don't waste your time with the cheap stuff. Just get this now, and then you won't have. And I still have that one 20 years later. I have one of them. One of them got stolen at a party.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was at a party, and my turntable like malfunctioned, so I had a homie bring me a turntable. I was DJing the party, and they stole the turntable out of my car. Yeah, that was heartbreaking, man. I was devastated. I was DJing parties with one turntable for a while. I was doing like, when that happened, I was doing a turntable and a CD player, like the little Walkman Discmans. Yeah, like back in like the Napster days. I'd press a CD out, so I'd have like my other turntable represented with the CD player, and then I'd like scratch and do. I did a few gigs like that, man. Wow. And it was pretty challenging, but you know, I was able to figure it out and get it done. It's crazy. But if I could just keep going on that. Yeah. Like part of what you were saying about like the old school, the new school, and even when you asked me to bring the turntables out today, I was like, I'm not sure like if I want to represent.
I knew that was gonna be
how I want to be portrayed. Yeah. And that was my initial thought. But after like further thought and just kind of sitting there texting you, I was like, well, it's whatever. Yeah. My mentality is whatever. Whatever you can do to provide the music and the feeling to a group of people, do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm a purist. Of course, I started out with vinyl. Of course, I'm a vinyl enthusiast. I still collect records. I buy records like 2-3 times a week to this day. But when it comes down to it, and you know, you got guys who are like, oh, vinyl, or you know, they're like. To me, I really think it's just like a closed-mindedness, and they're really like selling themselves short. Like, I could DJ on vinyl, I could DJ on this, I could DJ with CDs. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna be a true DJ, you need to have all the skills.
Can people do the opposite? Can people go from digital to vinyl?
Yeah, but it's a lot harder.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot harder. Just with the touch and feel, the digital like element just really is it's like a crutch.
Is it easier?
Yeah, it assists you.
It's just super easier. Yeah.
Because not only that, like with just mixing audio, you have a visual reference too. So like if you can't like hear the sound,
you can see
it.
You can see the waves.
Yeah, you can see the waveforms match up. So, you know, like I've had a lot of guys, you know, they're like, oh, vinyl only. I've been at parties where they promote vinyl only, and then you show up and it's f***ing digital DJs.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, it's just like everybody's using shams and gimmicks.
Yeah, shams like the big one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, just rock the party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I finally decided to bring this stuff, I'm like, you know what? Why would I want to go and like act like I'm a true like purist when I'm open to all skills and all styles? And then quite frankly, when I do my weddings or I do my private events, you know, this is easier for me to set up and execute the event as opposed to bring in a bunch of records. And you know, it's just kind of like a common sense thing. This frees up a lot of time to like make better mixes, I guess. Like, yeah, I mean, it's the same where you spend less time like physically organizing because it's easier to just pull a song into a folder as opposed to like if I could look it up in my thing, find the song, go like if I'm trying to like make a mix and bring a sample with an original record and then I got to go through like all 5,000 of my records and I'm like, where did I put that? You know, it's going to take me a while. So this is much more convenient, and I recommend doing whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pretty much.
Do you remember your first gig that you did?
My first gig, yeah. It was for a buddy of mine on my baseball. Like my first official gig was for a buddy of mine on my baseball team. He had a little like kickback house party. This was like my first time like DJing
in public.
In public, and it was just like a little condo, like you know, and we had like 12 people there, and I was DJing, and he paid me with a 12-pack of Corona.
Dang.
Oh my God! But I went from a 12.
What year was this?
This was like 99.
Oh wow.
2000. Yeah.
That's funny.
Crazy.
Yeah. 99, 2000. Underage drinking, all that shit.
Was it hard? Like, did you mess up or anything like that?
Yeah, I wasn't like good at first. Like, yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, I have old footage where there was a point. You know what? There was a point where I couldn't even mix, and I gave up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had turntables. I couldn't figure out how to like match beats, and I like stopped trying. I stopped trying for like 3 months.
So what made you go back?
It was like a crazy thing that happened, but I ended up staying with some friends of mine at UCLA, and so then I would go to like the dorm parties at UCLA, and I'm like, F that, I'm gonna learn how to DJ because I saw the guys like rocking. I'm like, I want to DJ college parties.
Yeah.
So then
100%.
So then I went back home and I like reestablished my motivation.
Was it girls that motivated you?
Nah, bro. Nah.
It was a little bit of both.
A little bit of everything for sure. And then
dang.
I got a job at a record store.
Okay.
And Norwalk Records, shout out Norwalk Records.
Are they still there?
They're still here. They've been around for
that's big.
Probably like more than like 50 years though.
That's big.
Yeah. So they're still around. I got a job there one summer, and I was like the new music buyer. So I would like get the catalogs from the distributors, and I would like be like, oh, we should buy this for the shop. We should buy this for the shop.
Okay.
And then just like categorizing records. And within that shop, I discovered these records called Wicked. I think it was Wicked mixes that I learned on, and they're remixed and edited 12-inch singles, and you get like 3 songs per album, and they all have beats per minute listed on them. So like once I figured out the math behind it, then I learned. I was like, oh, this song is 100 beats per minute. This song is 105 beats per minute. I have to match them up. And then that's where like it clicked. Like one day, like I couldn't mix for shit. And then one day it just clicked. Like it just clicked.
So the next 6 months he was just
I remember that day I went for like 12 hours straight, just like mixing the same thing and over just to get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And then after that day, it was no turning back. I was like, okay, now I know how to mix. Now we start building sets and compiling playlists and buying more records and things like that. And then that's where I just started becoming a better DJ.
So what genre made you fall in love more with like DJing?
1000% hip hop.
All right, so with that said, because
Golden era.
Yeah, me too. Like 100%. But because you mentioned like Wu-Tang,
Sure.
Obviously Tribe, I'm guessing, right? Like so what were some of your favorite like Wu-Tang or old school hip hop classics that you like to mix?
Oh, like I used to like for Wu-Tang, obviously Protect Your Neck.
Ooh.
Oh, I used to do a Method Man routine, the METHOD, man. I used to cut that one up. And then like later on in their albums, they had that song Pinky Ring. That was like a cool record to cut up. Old Dirty Bastard had one called Old Man. That was crazy. But like any of the Wu stuff, Can It All Be So Simple? Cream. You know, I mean, they're just starting to come to me now. But even like a song like Triumph, you know, that was just such a mega hit. That song really inspired me and changed my life into wanting to produce music.
Okay.
Yeah. That like opened my eyes to the RZA. Yeah.
Shout out the GOAT.
Yeah. Shout out Raheem Diggs. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm insane about it. You know, Golden Era, I used to listen to the Roots a lot. I used to love the Roots. I still love the Roots. You know, Black Star, Mos Def, the whole Raucous Camp.
Ooh.
Company Flow, Brand Nubian, you know, Native Tongues, West Coast, Far Side, you know, Cypress Hill.
Visionaries.
Visionaries.
Come on,
sure.
bro.
Yeah. I'm trying to like.
I was like, are you gonna mention them?
Yeah, I got about like 5. No, Beat Junkies for sure. Oh, okay.
Beat Junkies.
So Beat Junkies, I have to mention the Beat Junkies. You know, and do them their justice and their influence on me. Beat Junkies absolutely influenced me. That's a major part of the story that I totally forgot to mention. I used to go to the Beat Junkies shows religiously and get as close to the stage as I could and just watch.
Weren't we together when they were at MacArthur Park? Was it?
At the pavilion?
Yeah. That's where.
We were there.
Yeah.
I used to go to all their shows at the Knitting Factory and stuff like that. They had a bunch of shows and things around, and I would go and get as close to the stage as I could and just watch and just try to go home and emulate them. DJ Babu, Mr. Chalk, of course J-Rock, all the Beat Junkies. But
you know, Icy Ice was gonna.
Icy Ice too.
We were gonna have him.
Oh yeah,
like,
you should get Icy Ice.
Yeah. So maybe.
Yeah, we used to go to Icy Ice Club in Garden Grove. Yeah, we used to go there too. Like, man, yeah.
Because he saw our R&B battle and he wanted to do it.
Oh,
yeah. Remember I told you that.
Yeah, you sent me.
Yeah.
You should follow up with them.
Yeah.
I mean, the Beat Junkies are a bunch of cool cats, and you know, I owe like pretty much my entire DJ influence to the Beat Junkies.
That's crazy.
I mean, there's like the Invisible Scratch Pickles, the Executioners, Triple Threat DJs, the Allies. You know, I'm fans of all those. Huge fan. But like the biggest influence, just because it was West Coast,
Orange County.
Cerritos 562. You know, was the Beat Junkies for sure. And DJ Melody on the beat. My aunt used to listen to the beat with DJ Melody, and she would record the tapes.
Yeah.
And we would listen to DJ Melody. So he was a super influence. He's so clean and so precise. He's like a technical wizard when it comes to mixing, for sure. If anybody wants to learn how to DJ, I'm gonna say watch DJ Melody. Yeah, watch DJ Melody, and then you know you can go off into the rabbit hole, whatever you go from there. But start with DJ Melody for sure. Yeah,
that's tight.
Well, speaking of teaching, we're gonna cut this segment right now because in the next segment, you are gonna teach Migs and I how to DJ.
Oh my God!
Scratch.
Hey, way to talk about this.
Now we gotta tell you we have no experience, so we're not even sure if it's gonna be a 20-minute segment or longer. But we're hoping that you could teach the audience as well too, because obviously I'm coming from the other side and I don't get to actually do it. And it seems easy for no reason, but I'm sure it's a lot harder. So I'm probably going to watch this. So, all right. So when we come back, you're going to see us mess up.
Awesome.
All right. Nah, we're going to learn today. You're going to learn today.
We're going to learn today.
You are listening to Kickspot.